The thing is, if I was ever famous, I would love to host Saturday Night Live. It just but it just seems like one of those things where it's like, okay, it may not be good, but damn it, that wouldn't be an experience because they have to write that whole show a week, one show a week, starting with the Saturday of the previous show. It's like, that has to be an experience to do. I may not be good, but you know what? Donald Trump was also the host on the show once. I can't be any worse.
Oh, that's a
That's true.
standard to live by. But yeah, for now, I am afraid you are stuck to being the co-host on this very show where nobody writes any scripts ahead of time. And God knows we maybe should start at some point. Hello and welcome everybody to the AWKWARDCast, where Ain't and Keyframe wonder about random drivel. And today with us for Shaggy today with us. He is a very sad boy.
That was just my mood. Yeah, he's not the only one. But yeah, we have monsters.
Yeah, we have monsters. Please, since you are first with us on the show, do tell us and the viewers out there, who are you, what do you do, and why should people care?
Oh, should people care? That's another question in of itself. But hi, I'm MonstersReview, Monsters for short. Thanks for having me on the podcast. I am a YouTuber by most metrics, an internet personality, some would say. Yeah,
a national treasure, according to some.
A national treasure. We got to get the Declaration of Independence. I'm also Nick Cage now. But yeah, I mean, I mostly
that
cover.
explains why you can't show your face. It makes all
Correct.
sense now.
Yeah.
You got us, Mr. Cage. You got us there good.
I'm prepping for a new role. I'm just covered in facial hair. Anyway, yeah, I mean, I mostly cover traditionally animation stuff. Since then, I've kind of branched out and I've done all sorts of things related to nostalgia and retrospectives and things that I'm just passionate about. Like my most recent video is about Tosh.0, which is a little off brand for me, but it was something that I felt inclined to talk about, so I did. But yeah, I mean, I have my own YouTube channel. I do that stuff. I appear in some of Salty DK Dan's videos, known as Borat Spoink from season 1 of his Friendlock series.
Yeah, baby. Bikes do so much.
Laloo, Borat Spoink. But yeah, that's what I do. And why should people care? Oh, people shouldn't care. Is that a good answer?
People
shouldn't care.
It's an answer.
Yeah.
I'm passionate. I do what I like doing. If people don't care, that's totally cool.
That is a legit answer.
Hooray! But I know that you said to us that you don't want to go into much of your personal life, and we're going into what have you been doing recently. But I guess we could say, what projects have you been up to recently? What in the YouTube sphere? What have you been doing?
Well, as you can see from my channel, I don't post terribly often. Normally, a few times every year. But I am working on a video right now. I'm working on a video, not to get too specific, but about an older Family Guy episode that has some interesting social commentary, believe it or not. Older Family Guy, some of it is just not aged well. Some of it is quite problematic, to be honest. But this episode has some. Yeah. But I found an episode that I think has an interesting message and some. Because I feel like, especially considering how non-frequent I post, I tend to pick topics that have these sort of big messages or something that I can sustain talking about for a little bit. And if it was just an ordinary episode of Family Guy, it'd be like a 2-minute video that's just then and there. But this has some interesting information, not only in the episode itself, but kind of everything surrounding it and what inspired the episode. So I've been researching that and kind of working on that.
Man, I mean, you could always just make a 15-minute video talking about your favorite Family Guy joke, which isn't your favorite Family Guy joke that fucking one where Peter's trying to get the dead frog off the floor?
It's not my particular favorite, but I love that one. I love that one. I love the one where he tries to back the boat into the harbor, and he keeps messing up. I've talked about this a few times, but I love the Robert Loggia one. where he talks about being stuck in the airport behind Robert Loggia, and Robert Loggia just spells out his name letter by letter. Yeah, there's so many cutaway gags. I love Conway Twitty. I know that's a controversial opinion, but I love the Conway Twitty gag.
How dare you? No, just to give context, Monsters is one of the regulars in the late night Derek friend group calls, and way too many times our conversation steers towards Family Guy.
Ah, I see.
It's a great show.
But it works because all we're doing is just watching the funny bits. But god damn it, what was there was a Family Guy joke I really liked. I don't know if we watched it during that time, but it was Stewie watching Bewitched, the Will Ferrell version, and he is silent the entire time, boarding a plane to LA, going to Will Ferrell's house, getting a stepladder from a hardware store, knocking on the door. Will Ferrell opens the door, and then he punches him in the face, being like, "That's not funny," and then walking. What happened to the timing? Timing used to be everything. But yeah, so you're doing that, and Derek's Friendlock starts up again tonight, doesn't it?
Tonight?
Or is that no, next week.
Yeah,
I have
think
no
it's on,
concept of time.
The 16th is when that shall start.
Yes, it's going to be very interesting. No, people, Borat Spoink will not come back. No,
Well,
we wa.
No, I don't think so. It's entirely new Pokemon.
Okay, yeah, I mean, just as much as Anti-Sandslash is not going to come back, neither is...
I mean, she
neither
died,
will
didn't
Borat.
she?
Yeah, actually, yeah. Monsters
Spoilers.
character got to live. Yeah, spoilers if you have not watched the movie-length video of the anime. Or the hours
feature
upon
film.
hours of the manga. Yeah. Fucking... I will complain about this to this, not complain, but I will say this to this day. Auntie's death was so sad because I didn't have any say in it. Because Derek brought me out and was like, "Okay, Chrissy, I'm gonna use your turn to heal another person." I was like, "I don't know, I don't want that." And he's like, "I'm doing it anyway." And then I died in one hit from a fucking Gardevoir. The only thing
That's how someone else died too. Like, it might have been, I don't remember whose death it was. I think it was one of the earlier ones. But yeah, like they were like, "Okay, let's just heal. Let's take a turn off," and then the opposing Pokemon just wipes them out after healing.
Whoops.
Was it Pasty? No, Pasty just decided he didn't want to evolve.
Pasty said McChoke on this, and then like tried to do an attack, and then just got wiped out.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. I'm mad. But no, like the only thing I got out of that was that apparently, according to Derek, he tries to cut off the audio of the people who died so you can't hear their final words. But mine was so ingrained into the audio that he couldn't take it out. So you can hear "Granny loves you" right before I died.
Ooh.
It was so good. But yeah, so I guess if that's what you're working on, Monsters, that's great. What about you, Max? Any exciting things have happened recently, or is it just more mundane, living the life?
Oh
Max?
no, we had. Oh no, where is it now? No. Oh no, there it is. Okay, we did more adulting this week. So there is the epic tale of our curtains. So when did we move in here? Pretty much on the day a month ago, we moved into the new place. And big windows. So for reasons of privacy and being able to sleep at all at night, we need curtains, obviously. So we got some very early on from a good old IKEA. And the nice thing is this flat came with pre-installed tracks for putting curtains on.
Oh, that's good.
Ooh.
That's good.
I remember the nightmare that was your previous bedroom.
Oh yeah, with the wooden construct.
Oh yeah, where we had... The best part about that one is that I was visiting when you were building that. So I remember
I'm not a handy person.
Oh yeah, you're not. It was just very fun going to the hardware store, you looking around, figuring out what to get. us coming back from the hardware store, and then the entire adventure of you cutting these things and just watching, being like, I have nothing to say about this. All I know is something's gonna go wrong. It worked for the time being.
Yeah.
But yeah, it already got pre-installed tracks.
So with the curtains from IKEA, we got little thingamagigs like with wheels that you can put into the tracks.
Yeah.
They didn't fit.
Oh,
So,
no.
and those were the only ones available from IKEA. So, a little bit later, a trip to the hardware store with little ones with a roll on it, like an individual roll. Trying it, doesn't fit.
Yay! This is
So,
a Cinderella situation.
Basically, so yesterday, we put the shoe on the last feet. So we went back to the hardware store and we're like, okay, let's look. Oh, those are just a little bit smaller. But, let's be sure to not have to do this trip again. So I took the package of what we bought before. I took the package of this, we assume, smaller one. Ran to the information stand, and the two ladies at the information stand, I was like, can you confirm that those are smaller and that they are what we need? And they were basically like, that's not really our department, but let's see. And so we are standing there with, and then another person came by, and as 4 people, we tried to see, like, yeah, it looks smaller, it could be the right one. But eventually we were like, okay, go to the people who actually are the people for that department. So I walked back through the store to the local information stand of the department, and I was like, okay, here's a picture of our rails at home. Here are the ones we bought before that didn't fit. Here are the new ones. Are those the right ones? And the dude, like a total chat, sitting there, not even standing up, from 2 meters away, looks at it and is like, yep, that's the ones. And I'm like, cool, that's all that I wanted to know. Works for me. Thanks, sir. So we bought them. We came home. We tried them in the tracks, and they fit. And then we started putting those little hook thingy-magigs on the curtain, and I'm like, yeah, a little bit short. It's like the rim of the curtain, the edge is quite a bit longer than the hook, and it would basically slide across the ceiling the entire time. So straight, missing my English right now. But yeah, it would like on the ceiling the entire time. And we're like, okay, we could just go ahead. We could just put all those hooks in. But we are like, okay, but because there is this thing, the IKEA also gives special curtain hooks, additional things that you put into the curtain to make it just a little bit higher and to better connect it. And we are like, we could theoretically put them up now, with the best intention to replace them and get the additional things in the future so that they don't touch the ceiling all the time.
Right.
But if we put them up now, we will never switch it out, because once they hang, people are lazy. So we were like looking at each other and we're like, yeah, we cannot put up the curtains. Not if we put them up now without the in-between hooks, we will leave them there forever. So
are we still on the curtains?
Yes, we are still on the curtains. And with a bleeding heart, Denim and I decided we will not put them up before we get the in-between pieces. So the plan is now for Denim to return to IKEA tomorrow while I'm still at work, get another COVID test, so because you need to have a negative test to get in there in the first place. And get this in-between hooky thing so we can then hopefully put up the curtains tomorrow. And then
Curtains are always fun.
I know. But yeah, while we were at the hardware store, I got a new toy.
Whoa.
I am going to drill holes in the walls. Nothing can go wrong.
Oh, I know why you're gonna drill holes in the walls, and I really hope that... Here's the thing, I know what you're gonna do, and knowing how some people will see them on a camera, I really hope you don't accidentally not make them level, because everyone will see them.
I have levels. I have enough levels, and I have drilled stuff in the past. I will figure it out one way or another, but yeah.
I know, but it's not very hard to turn, like, nice shelving into a beginning of a Rube Goldberg device. Like, just saying. But yeah, besides your lovely curtain adventures, I know that you also had a fun adventure going to hippies, like
I went to
the
hippies.
dermatologist.
Oh yeah. That. I mean, that turned out. I mean, I went to a dermatologist this week. I was a little bit like worried about it. So I looked for dermatologists in reach of our new flat, and one of them had no reviews at all on the internet and no website. No, they had reviews, but they had no website, and I didn't even know what they were offering service-wise, and the reviews were not great. So I was like, I would rather not. The other one I found had a nice website. Reviews were like, like the usual controversial ones, where one is like, yo, best doctor ever, no waiting time, super attentive, and the other is like, yo, worst doctor ever, had to wait for 2 hours and got rushed through, and you're like, one of you two
this
is
person murdered my dog.
exactly one of you two is not telling the truth, or you have very selective experiences. Yes, I can pick my doctor in Germany. But yeah. But the thing was, two things that bothered me about this doctor. Number one was they didn't give out appointments, so you just had to go to the open thing during COVID. A doctor's office with open Sprechstunde, whatever Sprechstunde is in English.
You can walk in appointments.
Yeah, with only walk-in appointments during COVID. It's a little bit like, And then there was the other thing that at the last point of what they offer as services was, what's the English word? Why we called them hippies?
Oh, homeopathic methods.
Homeopathic and nature thing. And I'm always a little bit like, that's actually not medicine by the very definition of it. So a doctor who is practicing it always gets me a little bit skeptical. But no, in all fairness, I came there, I was like 10 minutes early and there was already a long line. But by 10 minutes past 8, I already was seated in the waiting room with distance to everybody else. So they had a very good functioning system in getting the people into in the office.
German efficiency, baby.
Basically, yeah. And then 5 minutes later, I actually was in a room, and the doctor came in. She did everything that I was there for, and I don't think that this took too long either. It was just like 5 to 10 minutes later, I was out again, and I mean,
that was great.
Yeah.
But man, don't you wish they weren't? Like, doesn't a small part, like, obviously, given what you were getting checked and all that stuff, like, it's good that they were good. But for the sake of entertainment, wouldn't it be great if they weren't? Wouldn't it be great if you met some Berlin hippies? Who were like, yo, Mr. Y, because I'm not leaking your last name.
Max, bro. I mean, that kind of doctor would probably go first name.
Oh, yeah. Max, bro, look, your chakras, man, they're just so out of whack. That's why you're getting some dermatitis there.
You
just gotta.
You wanna have some weed for the thing?
Oh no!
Totally for that too.
Yeah, this is the appetizer. just wear the Then if I start saying to wear these crystals to clear up your skin condition, then we're just becoming Lauren, aren't we?
But yeah.
No. But yeah. So if that was your week, I guess I could say what bits and pieces happened in mine.
And I got kind of window shopping at Saturn. We were still looking for a dishwasher. One of the reasons why we really wanted to move was having room for a dishwasher. We didn't get one. The guy in the store was like, if I can give you one recommendation, don't buy anything we currently have. Okay. Like those two brands are trash brands. This brand is a good brand, but they got kind of shit over the last 2 years. And the good ones they currently cannot get delivered. But come back in 2 months and we have the good ones again. My recommendation: don't buy anything.
Cool.
Honesty. I will
respect the honesty.
Yeah, and I will be completely honest. I felt I felt better than him trying to push one of the machines on me. And this kind of honesty is like, yeah, I would probably come back for other items now. This is the kind of recommendation that I can work with. But no, I also look like I would probably get myself a new coffee machine, like with full grinding thing and whatnot, because I'm still on Senseo, the same Senseo I have for 20 years almost. Time to get something new.
The packet equivalent of a Keurig.
Potentially, I mean, then...
Well, a Keurig is like you have like these little cups of coffee grounds, and then you put water in the back, and then they do it. Yours is like that, but instead of having little plastic cups, you have little like little packets.
Yeah, and you can throw the packets into the compost, so it's a lot better than all those ones
it's
with
the It's the biodegradable Keurig.
Yeah, but no, I'm now getting something proper. So like where you put in the whole beans and they get ground fresh and whatnot. Yeah, and also new audio for the TV, because the speakers in the TV are shit.
Did you break it?
No, the speakers in the TV are shit. They just have no volume behind it, and so we plugged in some old PC speakers, which are also shit, but still better than the built-in ones.
The good old gray speakers, yeah.
Yeah, but no, now apparently sound bars are what you get nowadays. So
yes,
yeah, well, I'm getting a sound bar.
I mean, look, sound bars are just fucking stereo speakers who went on a diet and took a nap. Like, that's all it is.
But yeah.
All modern technology. Look, I know I'm getting into my week, so I get to
Which
rant.
is perfectly fine because I'm done.
All modern technology is just old technology that got skinny. Like there's no true innovation behind things. Things are either now a liquid or they're smaller, and now we're going in fucking reverse because we want things to be bigger. So it just we wanted our phones to get smaller.
I mean,
they're getting bigger, and now we're talking about phones that fold out. So we're basically going back to a modern version of the fucking flip phone. So the only difference is that the flip phone's going to be turned to an iPad. But you know what that fucking was? That was the fucking BlackBerry. Instead of an iPad, though, it was a computer screen with a keyboard.
I mean, in all fairness, you know the history behind the iPad? The iPad,
I think so.
The iPad literally was a prototype for the iPhone, but they built it in bigger because cheaper, and then they shrunk it down to be an iPhone, and then years later they were like, hey, we can sell this shit prototype from our iPhone as its own thing and people buy it.
Exactly. What I'm saying is,
you bought a new
no
phone.
one in Silicon Valley deserves their money. The end. But no, my week was generally boring. Watch Mitchell's versus the Machines, but we'll be talking about that later. But the fun thing was, it was today, actually. Today, May 9th, is Miss Lauren the Abbey Roadie's birthday. My best friend. My sister, basically, that I've known for 13 years. And so I guess go on Twitter to the Abbey Roadie, wish her a very happy birthday.
Oh yeah! My God, there are balloons flying everywhere. Jesus.
Yes, very happy birthday. But you know, so on Thursday I decided to go down to Glendale and celebrate with her. We went to. I was like, Lauren, you deserve a good birthday. Pick the absolute favorite place you want to go eat. I will treat you to that. And what's your favorite cake and all this kind of stuff. She's like, you don't have to. It's like, no, you know that you're going to say you don't have to, and I'm still going to do it, so stop fighting. There is no use on fighting my kindness, because you will lose. She's like, okay. So we went to Ding Tai Fung, which is this, like, Vietnamese Asian food place. You have like an order card. You pick one, like the things you want to order, and they bring it out incrementally. And they have like soup dumplings, pork buns, all this kind of stuff. Our eyes were definitely bigger than our stomachs, because when the fourth dish came out, we were like, oh no, the table is filling up, but we're not eating fast enough. Oh no. But it was all so good. Soup dumplings are amazing. and so are pork buns, and they had these things called taro buns, which are they have like the same like doughy exterior as the pork buns or the bao buns, but the inside is taro, which is a purple sweet potato. It was so fucking good. I love taro.
I heard that those buns also function as psychic cards.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm glad you know the. God damn it. Fuck off. But yeah, so we did that, and then I baked her a cake. I baked her this 2-layer devil's food cake from scratch because Chrissy doesn't use no box mix.
No
Get outta here.
Pixar didn't happen.
I mean, hold on. I have my phone. I can go find it. Hold on.
I'm just being a dick.
No.
Oh,
No.
it's,
I mean, I took the time to make it. It's just that the pictures were taken at 4 a.m. So, because I only bake exclusively between the hours of 1 a.m. and 4 a.m. apparently. So the pictures don't look that great because I wasn't trying to make them aesthetic. Here we go. I guess that picture's okay. Ignore the tray. I had a tray under it when I was putting sprinkles on the side, so that way I didn't make an entire mess out of my kitchen.
Ba-doo!
But yeah, it's a 2-layer like devil's food cake. Because she loves chocolate. That's okay. I guess.
Jesus, that's
Oh,
a zoom,
God.
alright?
We don't need the macro lens on an iPhone picture taken at 2 a.m. But yeah, and then like, homemade buttercream icing, like chocolate buttercream, and then the top is like a vanilla cinnamon buttercream, and I made it all pastel and rainbowy because this is Lauren, she's a hippie. And it was actually really fucking good. I get self-conscious about everything I make until the moment someone eats it, and then I gain a bunch of confidence. But it was really fucking good. Like, I was impressed with myself, because I don't usually like chocolate. Not much of a chocolate cake person, but this had coffee in it, which probably made it like 1,000 times better. So, yeah, she really liked it, and then we went out for the most LA thing that I think I could say today, which is rainbow lattes in the morning. I also have a picture of that. Hold on, let me grab that.
All of them pictures.
She was like, can we go get rainbow lattes? And I was like, what the hell is that? And there we go. Here's one that has Lauren in it. And you see we're wearing our masks. We're being safe.
Why is it so tiny?
Right.
Why is it tiny? There it is.
Oh boy, if I click the button again, it happens.
Oh, Lord. But yeah, so those are rainbow lattes. It's like dyed foam on the top, and then they have like chocolate sauce as the outlines, and then they go foo, foo, foo with a little stirring stick. It was good. I mean, it tastes just like coffee, but it's just a bit more expensive. But with Lauren, I'm allowed to indulge in California, not even let's be real here, Hollywood things. Like, this is LA stuff just to the zenith. She knows this stuff. I don't. I just want to eat pizza. But you know what? I'll experience it for her. No,
right.
No.
This is the sort of food that exists for Instagram. Like it doesn't matter how it tastes. You just pull out your phone, take a picture of it, post it to Instagram, and then you eat it or drink it, and you're just like, ugh. But at least I got 500 likes.
Yeah, but at least that coffee tasted good, and it did. And I did get like a croissant with it that was really fucking good. Not every cafe is defined by their croissants. If you can't make a good basic pastry, what the fuck are you? Yeah, croissant. I mean, it was a cute little cafe too. Apparently, it was like a reformatted gas station. Like, the entire building looks like an old 1950s gas station in its skeleton, I guess you can call it, in its framework. There we go. Not skeleton. It's not alive. I don't think it's alive.
Or is it?
Or is it? It's the new Monster House movie, Monster Cafe. Oh no. All the deaths would be scalding heat burns. But who would have died that you buried at the bottom of a cafe in LA?
A hipster.
Oh no.
Very most likely. An actor.
In in the scene where the monster house, like in the monster cafe, rips itself out of the ground to chase whatever nosy kids are going after it, part of its structure becomes a little man bun at the top.
Oh no, the Monster Cafe is gentrified.
It's vaping. It's going to vape us to death. No, now we're just we should write for SNL.
Yeah.
It'd be a great
Shots been
sequel to
fired.
Gen Z Hospital. But no, it was a really cute place. I mean, I'll give Lauren, everywhere we go to is really cute and cool. So I'm not going to deny the reason why these things exist, but I can still totally make fun of it as someone who's like, coffee is coffee. I mean, no, that's not true. Good coffee is good coffee, and then the rest of it's coffee. Not going to equate a good Australian flat white to a fucking Starbucks frappuccino. Like, no. I'm not going to throw those hands today. But yeah, we did that, and it was fun. And then, yeah, I don't think that was really the only big thing that happened. I mean, besides that, I guess DA Games did a merch launch that I directed. We worked with Igor. Yeah, we worked with Igor, My Little Ties, to make like these little laser engraved dog tag necklaces and keychains for. I retweeted it recently.
There it is.
There it is. That's the necklaces. And the keychains were for Will's solo metal project.
Yep, I saw this one right after it.
Yeah, and DA Games has the necklaces, and we put the site up on Thursday. The official launch was yesterday, but Chris put the site on the hype tweet, so people started ordering them early. Cool. And yeah, the iris tags are all sold out, and I think we only have 9 of the necklaces left, which is great because these were out of a stock of 49 each per design. So yeah, it's always just a nice thing to see that a project went successfully that I was the spearheader of, the one who organized the people and made the designs and handled the PR and all this stuff, and it's great. And now I get the fun job of shipping them all out of my house because they're all in my closet. I love the post office.
Don't we all?
Yeah, but yeah, that was my week. Just work and then coffee, I guess. Coffee and filling up my food.
Yeah. So, then I guess it is time to move on to the media.
Yes,
Also,
we're making decent time.
Yeah.
We do have to be a little bit faster for the sake of
That's true.
For the sake of good old monsters.
Yeah, but yeah, I have a good alternative to Mitchell. So, do you want to have it, Key?
Sure, but monsters, what media do you want to talk about? Because you're our guest and you're first.
That's true.
I am first. Oh no. I guess I can talk about the Bad Batch. So just to kind of provide some context, there's a show that was on. It premiered in 2008 called Star Wars: The Clone Wars, not to be confused with the 2D Cartoon Network Clone Wars. It's like CG animated and everything, and there was a movie that started it off. It's where the character Ahsoka came from. And after Disney bought Lucasfilm, there was just some issues, and the show stopped. And they went on to do some other projects like Rebels or whatever else. But then last year they came back to do a final season of Clone Wars, and there was in the first set of episodes there was a group of characters named the Bad Batch that were introduced, and it's kind of these. So they're clone troopers, right? But they're kind of these misfits because the reason they're called the Bad Batch is because they're not sort of traditional clone troopers. They all kind of have these defects, but they're defects that help them specialize in certain things. Like Hunter, he's kind of like the leader of the pack. He's just kind of like a Rambo type assassin. There's like one named Wrecker, and he's kind of this big. He kind of looks like Heavy from TF2. He's kind of this big brute. And then there's one named
Rambo type. You mean exactly looks like Rambo? Like, come on now.
Yes, yeah.
Like, hold on, let me get a screenshot of him. That's This is him. That's Rambo.
Yeah,
Not
basically
even
John Rambo.
trying it. Oh, but it's also CGI, so.
Right.
Yeah, it's from the Clone Wars people.
Yeah, because this picture could go both ways. It doesn't necessarily look like a Clone Wars CGI. Or do I have
Right.
the wrong picture up?
No, this is the Bad Batch.
Okay.
Normally they don't have their helmets on, but they do have their helmets on during battle. But yeah, there's one named like Crosshair who has like a sniper. He's just a really good sharpshooter. There's one named Tech, and obviously he's kind of like this. He knows how to do all the programming and technical stuff. But yeah, like kind of this group of misfits. And yeah, after the last season of Clone Wars wrapped up, they announced that they're doing this Bad Batch spinoff on Disney Plus. It dropped on May the 4th.
Hey. That's marketing,
with like
alright.
Oh, it's great marketing. People were thinking there's another, not to get too off topic, but there's another Star Wars series called Detours that was it was canned. It never released, but it was made shortly before Lucasfilm was sold to Disney, and it's kind of this weird like raunchy CG comedy series, and it never got released. People were speculating that it was going to get released on May the 4th, but it never did. But this did. There's 2 episodes out so far, and yeah, it's really cool. It's action packed. It's fun to watch. One thing that really impresses me about it is that D. Bradley Baker. He's a fairly known voice actor. He voices like Klaus in American Dad, and Number 4 from Kids Next Door, and he has
Momo and Appa in Avatar.
Yeah, he has his footprint on everything. He's known for a lot of like creatures and stuff like that. But yeah, he voices every single clone trooper in this show. Like that's what he did for Clone Wars. He voiced every single clone trooper, but he voices all of the Bad Batch too, and each one has like a unique voice. So a lot of the show is essentially just him talking to himself, but you don't even get that impression because of how good he is at embodying each character. He's just such a talented and versatile voice actor. Yeah, I mean, without spoiling anything, they introduce a new character who's kind of a young girl, and as you know, the Star Wars fan base can be a little bit toxic, for lack of better words. Yeah. I personally, I haven't sought too much fan reaction speculation to this show on social media, but I can imagine a lot of them won't be too happy with this character. Personally, I think she's a great character, and I think they're exploring some interesting stuff with her. But I'm just afraid that the fan base is going to react negatively to her because A, she's a child, and B, she's a female. But at the same time, I know Disney does like to have that sort of childhood imagination and wonder in a lot of the stuff they produce. So I'm sure that there will be a lot of accusations out there that like they're trying to Disney-fy Star Wars. But it's a good series so far.
As we know, girls don't exist in the Star Wars world. It's all sausage fests, and the only 2 women in existence. Yeah, the only 2 women in existence are Leia and Slave Bikini Leia.
Exactly.
Those are the only 2 females that exist in my Star Wars.
Hashtag not my Star Wars.
Exactly. Obviously, we can't have more than 1 female at a time in the Star Wars universe. We tried having that.
Yeah, and see what happened with Rose.
Oh no, I was gonna say that's why they burned Luke's aunt to death with the uncle first. But if you want to go into the new movies, fine. See what I care. Look, they blew up everyone in the prequels. It's obviously meaning that Luke's Star Wars verse has no females besides Leia. It's symbolic, you guys. But it's so tense.
Bad Batch. Question: do you need to have seen the Clone Wars to watch this?
I would recommend having seen the episode. There's a 4-episode arc at the beginning of season 7 of Clone Wars that they are in, and I would recommend watching those 4 episodes. Wow.
I
Okay.
know. Show already wrapped up, and I'm still in season 1.
I mean, it's a long series,
It
and
is
if you do still want to watch it, there are some lists that just have kind of like a short
The key
abbreviation
one,
of the
okay.
essential episodes. Yeah.
Because the thing is, I believe I talked on about Clone Wars on here before, didn't I? That if I haven't, then this is actually new coming from me. But in the beginning, I have heard good stuff, and I believe the show gets better. But in the beginning, Clone Wars has a little bit like, I don't know. Certain things are a little bit cringy, and there are some developments you really
but you
need
have to
patience to sit
understand
through.
that the Clone Wars animated show was like for one thing, started pre 2010 because it was a Cartoon Network show first.
I mean, what was
Right.
the name of the girl? The
Ahsoka?
Ahsoka, yeah.
My baby.
Yeah, Ahsoka. I mean, you talk about there is a young girl character, and Ahsoka I found was very much annoying. Is in some episodes getting very close to annoying child character
Bite
territory.
your tongue. Ahsoka is wonderful. I love her. You need to.
If that's if that's why you don't like Ahsoka, you might have some issues with this series because similarly, there are some times where this young girl character, she's like 10 years old and she's very naive, and there's a lot of situations in these first 2 episodes where she's like, "Oops, I made a mistake," and then it causes like all of this combat to break out, and she's like, "I'm sorry, I didn't know what I was doing."
Okay, this actually, I just was about to say, naive is not something that bothers me, but like this kind of being the cause of bad stuff is something where I'm like, what is this again? There was another show where what was it? Was it Kid Cosmic, where the incompetence of the child actually annoyed the hell out of me? No, with Ahsoka, my problem is more like she comes in and you have all those wise Padawan, all those wise full Jedi masters around her, and she's coming in with her fresh new ideas, and at the end of the episode, yes, the fresh new idea was right, and all those wise, super experienced Jedi were all idiots. And why did you not listen to this smart child? Like, they pushed that
But
in some episodes a bit hard.
Isn't that a very often thing in the Star Wars universe, though, with the new person pushing something? This is also the prequel verse, so what we know as established things in the rules of the mainline Star Wars canon could be formatted from stuff with that era with Clone Wars, because it's prequels. Prequels set up things that would happen.
I mean, prequels are
Star Wars
stupid.
Well,
is
right. And I think something they tried to establish in the Clone Wars series, which, happens right before the downfall of the Jedi, is that being stuck in their old ways in some part led
that's
to their
true.
incompetence and their downfall.
But yeah, enough of getting me closer to cancellation for hating on Ashoka. Bad Batch. Who should watch it? Who shouldn't?
Who should watch it? People who like Star Wars.
Rules of taste.
But wait. Are we talking original, prequel, and or sequel? There are many Star Wars.
Or extended universe Mandalorian.
But extended universe before Disney or after this? This statement requires a lot of specification.
Okay. I will
please,
specify.
sorry. Keep it elevator pitch. I'm making fun, okay?
People who watched the Clone Wars CG series should watch this.
Okay.
I don't think this is as like broadly appealing as something like The Mandalorian, but if you like animated stuff, if you like Star Wars, if you like action, honestly, like the visual direction is just really breathtaking. It's like they market it as being cinema quality, and while I don't know if that's necessarily true, it is just like, the backgrounds are beautiful. It's super high quality. It's not like a cheap looking animated series that just exists to sell toys. Like, it's very well done.
Okay. Matt?
Yeah.
Anybody who should not touch it?
You.
Shots been fired.
Fair.
Fair.
I guess the answer is people who don't like Star Wars, or
I guess.
and if you didn't like the concept of Clone Wars, I guess, but I just can't wait for them. I really hope they have Freddie Prinze Jr.'s character that was on Rebels come on or something, because I love Caleb. Caleb needs to be in more Star Wars things. But yes,
Okay.
so
Who's going
the
next?
Bad Batch. I guess you.
I am. Okay, wait, let me quickly... Bloop. I have something prepared.
Because you said you had an alternate to Mitchell's.
Yes, I have an alternate to Mitchell. And it's also kind of... Oh my god, what did I do here? Oh, now I know what I did. Okay, I can fix it. Okay, you go here. Okay, haha. Here's a special... It's a double crossover look back, which I actually wanted to do for quite a while now, for actually a few months, but then I forgot about it, and here I am back remembering it. I talked about both those audiobooks. Oh yeah, we are going really retro here. I talked about both those audiobooks on the show before, and now I both bring them back as a 2 years later direct cross comparison. So, two books that I didn't even praise them both highly. So as a little bit of a catch-up, I praised the hell out of the Never Hero, to the point where I even gifted the audiobook to Keyframe at some point to be like, I love it so much, here, I want to share my love.
Merry Christmas.
And then Gideon the Ninth, where I back in the day was like, okay, it was an interesting listen, but I'm not sure how I feel about this. It feels so weird, so all over the place. It's like space Warhammer-esque necromancer chick putting on aviator glasses. It just doesn't make sense. And so the thing is, once again, wanting to share stuff that I love with... Oh, sorry for hitting the microphone. With people around me.
People.
Yeah. So Denim and I, when we do cooking, we listen to audiobooks, and we actually managed to listen through both of those. We are currently actually on the sequel of The Never Hero, and I already bought the sequel to Gideon. Which is so fun, the parallels between those two stories. Both are trilogies. Both have only two published books, and in both of them, I desperately wait for the third book to drop. Also, where they are probably beautiful opposites, they are basically... The Never Hero is a very shonen version of a fantasy book, because it's written by a guy, and listening to them back to back with a few years in between. Oh boy, the Never Hero has problems. It is. I still love the story, but you can tell that it's written by a guy. We are.
Is it the level of your Treasure Island?
No, not that bad. I still think The Never Hero is a good and fun book, but it's so we are halfway through the second book, I believe, and we are still waiting for the series to pass the Bechdel test.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It has a fair amount of female characters, but they literally always, everything do is centered around the main hero. But in all fairness, I mean, the story is from the point of view of the ladies in his life. It's like he literally is the center of what happens in the story from their point of view. To his friends who are oblivious to what's going on with him, he is just acting super duper weird, and they are all like, "Dude, what's up with you?" And they are worried about him. So he is also the one where the perspective follows most of the time. So yeah, he's literally the focus point of this story. It is his story. So obviously the interactions of the other people around him are often about him. Unless you take a closer look at his two male friends who actually have an ongoing thing between them which is not about him. Where it's like, God damn it! Why? Why Never Hero? Why can't the girl characters have a similar thing? But no. The girl characters are like either love interests or best friends who then conspire with the love interests to talk about him. It's like, shit. And I probably through some YouTube channels I started watching, or his mom, that's also true. But yeah, I am potentially to watching some more progressive YouTube channel over the last year. My perspective has changed a bit, and I start noticing those kind of things. I'm like, it's still a good story. It's an interesting story. It's very hero's journey, very in the face about it as well. But it is written from a guy and by a guy who is very much a guy, and it has a little bit of the male power fantasy aspect in it. But if you can stand a 90s harem anime, you can easily stand this. This is not even close to as bad.
Yeah. No,
On
it's
the
not.
other
As someone
hand,
who's listened to the
Gideon,
story.
re-listening to Gideon was like, wow, this story is actually damn good. Like, a lot of stuff that offset me, that just broke my immersion in the beginning, the silliness in it. At the core of it, it's a pretty solid mystery story. You have a lot. The author has so many more characters to balance, and she still does a good job in characterizing all those characters, even the ones that get a lot less literature screen time, equivalent of screen time. And now, after having re-listened to both of them, with a lot of years in between, I nowadays would probably recommend Gideon a lot more. Not a lot more, but I would recommend Gideon before the Never Hero. But on the other hand, they are also very different in nature. So while Gideon is like this a lot more creative universe that it takes place in, like as I described earlier, it borrows a little bit. It has it has a thing with necromancy going on. It borrows a lot from it built a universe where I cannot get around making comparisons with Warhammer 40k. It's basically the at least the first book is basically a murder mystery. You have a big cast with barely any romantic subplots, and the cast is more or less half, if not exactly half boys, half girls. So they basically pass the Bechdel test in the first in the first page. But the Never Hero, what the Never Hero in comparison to that has going for it is that it is a more basic, a more standard story where I'm like, it's probably easier accessible. The same thing that was kind of being like with Gideon, like too much going on, too crazy, too out there. Which is where the Never Hero is more down to earth. It's a traditional good old story. You have the guy who gets into the situation and has to fight his way through, and at the end of the day, I would still recommend both of them. But their level in my top list probably has switched by now. And
At the end of the day, they're both kind of ridiculous.
Oh yeah, they are. I mean, but then again, hey, it's a book recommendation from me. What did you expect?
True. I mean, every time I've recommended a book on this show, it's something nonfiction or nonfiction or about history, like the history of how alcohol, or not alcohol, but the history of different types of drinks have affected society and how they're interwoven with history, or the console wars and the back history behind that, and the interesting parts of social psychology. Hey, here's a book about a aviator glasses wearing necromancer in space.
But then again, your reaction was like, I need to check this out now. Did you ever?
I mean, I did.
Ah.
I did. I think it's fine. I mean, I don't know. It was fine.
Wait a year and re-listen to it again. Let's see if your opinion has the same transformation as mine.
Maybe, I don't know. Personally, I don't like the character of Gideon. I like all the other characters more. I don't know what that says about me, but But maybe I'll warm up to her by the second book.
And elevator pitch for Never Hero, since you listen to both of them too.
I like it. It's basically, the heroes. If you want the quintessential hero's journey, there you go. They're both perfectly adequate fantasy, modern sci-fi fantasy books. That is what they are, and that is what they will be.
Perfect.
So with it being an audiobook, is the entire audio just someone narrating, or is it people acting it out?
No, it's in both cases a singular reader, and we're doing a little bit of voices. Yeah. And
trust me, I would love an audio play version of some of these. Maybe I would enjoy it more.
Oh, with Gideon at least, it probably could help to tell all those goddamn characters apart.
Basically.
The core... One final word on Gideon before we then move on to the final media. Just for comparison, Never Hero is a household of 4 people, plus a neighbor, plus a mentor character, and maybe some side characters. This is the entire relevant cast of Never Hero. Gideon has 17 base characters, plus side cast. So, and you are supposed to keep up with all of them.
Maybe that says more about the production of the audiobook, that they didn't take the effort to make some good discernible inflections for each character, but yeah, whatever. That's a whole different can of worms in the book itself. But yeah, let's talk about something we can all talk about.
Huzzah! Let me
it is
reset my screen to show it. Yeah, but you can do the introduction.
It is the film I've been waiting over a year for. And it is The Mitchells versus the Machines, from the creators of Spider-Verse, Cloudy, and all the good stuff that you love.
Wait. I thought we were talking about Sony's Connected.
Hey.
Okay, Monsters, thank you for being on the show. You're not welcome back anymore. No, oh god. But just to say, I'm very happy that Netflix let them name it what it was originally going to be named, because Connected sounds so sterile of a fucking title, which does not fit the style of this movie, not at all. But me and Max watched this on Monday, and we had a very good time watching it.
Yep.
What is it about? It is about this girl named Katie Mitchell, who is a filmmaker who's about to go to a film school in California. Doesn't really connect to her lumberjack-like man of a father. And so they go on a road trip to take her to college to try to reconnect. But the robot apocalypse happens, as it does. And shenanigans ensue. That is the best pitch I can give without spoiling things, because this movie is just so good.
It's a lot of you must see it to experience
to believe it.
Yeah.
But there's so much good about this movie that I'm trying to pick just particular things so I don't talk for hours about it. But it's so... I felt so happy watching the entire thing. It's a very makes you feel happy kind of movie. I love the characters. All of the family is charming in their own ways. I will protect the brother with my heart and soul, though. That brother is such a great character. I love him, and there is no way on earth he is not autistic coded. He's so cute. He's so fucking cute. I love him. Do you want to talk about dinosaurs? Yes, Aaron, I will talk about dinosaurs with you. It goes without saying the visuals are gorgeous. It's like if you took the software of Spider-Verse and made it look like watercolor paintings, which is so nice. The characters actually have outlines on them, which is interesting for a CG model. It looks so good, and then they have all these little 2D things come up. You notice that when a character moves, there's actually 2D swipes and action lines and everything. I know the biggest point of contention people have is the memes in it, because I saw some people that I know whose opinions I usually respect are like, am I too old for this? Are these why do these people think that they can write memes? It's like, do we forget that this character was like a kid in like this kid is canonically younger than all of us, actually, and going into college, which, say what you will about that feeling that I had realizing that, but but the memes make sense. It narratively fits the type of character that Katie Mitchell is, that she would like stuff like Neon Cat and Numa Numa and memes like that. It fits her personality. I don't think it would fit her personality to be like a TikTok person or something. And arguably, I think the TikTok, if they went with more Gen Z humor, it would age the film. The reason why certain memes still exist in the public conscience is because they hit like a zenith of generations that everyone likes. And time is a flat circle. Those memes are coming back, unironically. Yeah. Like, the top text, bottom text meme is coming back, and I think people just need to accept it. So I don't see the hatred towards the memes. There is a scene with Furbies in there that is terrifying, and I absolutely adore it. Not gonna go more into that, but I fucking love this movie. There's not much more I could say. I could go into it for a long time, but without going into it, I just love it.
Yeah. Then for fans of Final Space, there is one robot basically in this movie who is Kevin from Final Space, but likable. It's like
it's the same actor.
He basically even does the same, the similar voice, just with like a little bit toned down. And I'm not sure if they put a filter on his voice in Final Space.
Who's the actor?
Fred Armisen.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, basically the way he talks and whatnot, I can hear Kevin in him, and I'm normally not the guy who can recognize voices like this. So I would say that he probably is doing a similar performance, but likable. It's like,
which is very weird.
Yeah, credit where credit is due with Final Space, because because they really made the character who is supposed to be unlikable.
We hate Kevin. All my homies hate Kevin.
Kevin is I hate him so much.
We genuinely hate Kevin. I think every episode of Final Space we watch, as soon as Kevin comes on screen, we get the mood drops like 5 points. But it's such a good movie. Everyone has performed so well. I can't recommend this movie. I don't know anyone who would vehemently dislike the movie. I guess if you hate animation. If you're one of those people who thinks Hotel Transylvania and Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs are too well animated, then fuck off and don't watch it, I guess. But like, I mean, it's not reinventing the wheel on the story. It's very much an appreciate your family, people change kind of thing. But I will say that this movie also did the thing that I'm glad that it did. It didn't say technology was super evil. Like, a lot of people were worried that it was going to be like, oh man, this movie's just going to be phone bad, the movie. No, it makes it specifically clear that it done in excess is bad, but there are good things about it. So it was more balanced in that commentary than I thought it was going to be, especially with how they presented it in the trailers. But trailers are deceiving.
True story.
But yeah, that's what I think. I love this movie. This movie's great.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys have anything to say about Mitchell's.
Monsters. What about you? Anything?
Yeah. I also love this movie. To be quite honest, I haven't had a lot of success watching animated movies in the past few years and really latching onto them. The last time that happened, ironically enough, was with Spider-Verse, which was also Sony Animation and Lord & Miller. But yeah, like I watched Toy Story 4, I think it was a year or two ago, and I just had a really bad time. But I really like this movie. Yeah, I really resonated with it. It's interesting because kind of to what you were talking about, uh, the a lot of people, myself included, have issues with the fact that pretty much the entire theatrical movie business has shifted entirely to CGI, right? There used to be a lot of 2D stuff, but now it's almost entirely CGI. And for a time that really bothered me, and it still kind of does, but it's interesting how some CG movies like Spider-Verse and Mitchell's versus the Machines are kind of they're still CG, obviously, but they're trying to emulate 2D in a creative way and sort of shade things in a 2D way. So I like that. But yeah, it's a heartwarming movie. I love Mongshi. Sometimes when they include like a pet or like a cutesy character, it can be super gimmicky. But no,
Yeah.
Mongshi was perfect.
Yeah, and he's actually plot
Monshi,
relevant.
we protect We love Monshi in this house. The homies
Yeah.
love Monshi. No one look at that creature and tell me that you hate it. Look at that thing.
I would not want him to reproduce.
I don't think he would know. I don't think he would know how, Max.
He is a very valid end of the line kind of incarnation, but as such, even I can adore his existence.
Here's the thing.
Also voiced by an actual pug.
Oh yeah.
Here's the thing. I don't think Monchi would need to reproduce. I don't think Monchi ages. I don't think he would ever die. I think Monchi is an omnipotent being that just chose the Mitchells to exist with. Look at that. I can look at that absolute unit of a creature and just be like, no, this thing's never gonna die. If it didn't die with some of the events in the movie, it's not gonna die anytime soon from eating chocolate. Like, but yes, watch Mitchell's versus the Machines. It's great. I cannot wait for all the shit Sony's coming out with, because they have a whole adult and teen and PG-13 teens to adult animation division now and they're coming out with like 4 different R-rated to PG-13 rated animated films, and I am so excited because 3 of them are directed by Genndy Tartakovsky.
Love Genndy.
Love Genndy. Stan Genndy. Samurai Jack, baby.
Okay.
Samurai Jack, Hotel Transylvania, and Primal.
And Dexter's Laboratory.
And Dexter's Lab.
Which is a bit different.
He was also Hotel Transylvania.
Yes, he saved Hotel Transylvania for production hell.
Samurai Jack, Primal, Hotel Transylvania. One of those is not like the others.
No, I mean, like, if we're going by a pattern of something, we have Dexter's Laboratory, Samurai Jack, Hotel Transylvania, Primal.
So the next one will be a silly one again.
I mean, the next one, which is, if we're going by the announcements, the first, they're making one of the things he's directing is an R-rated comedy called Fix, where it's about this dog who's in love with the show dog across his neighbor. And then he finds out the next day he's going to get neutered. So he has to spend his last 24 hours with his manhood having a good time. I love this concept. I need it. They're also making a movie about like K-pop warriors, which I am down to clown with, man. K-pop Demon Hunters. I think that's what it's called. And you can't say that title without being like, that sounds pretty fucking awesome. But yes, now we're getting to the question time, the Q&A.
Before that, we should really appreciate this art of the week, shouldn't we? I wonder who made it. Okay,
I can't appreciate it, but I can appreciate it. But yes, this is part of your drawing 6 characters.
Exactly,
thing.
my 3rd badge, the badge that I titled Bonus Round Personalities of the Internet. And people probably know that veteran of this very podcast, Jesse Cox, I'm a fan for. He's basically the last Let's Play I'm still watching. Because otherwise Let's Play as a genre has kind of fizzled out for me. He says while himself producing Let's Plays and hoping that people watch them.
You can produce content and not watch it.
It's very true. No, but in Darkest Dungeon, while I am like probably 90% of all Darkest Dungeon player never finished it, because I have been told that the ending is actually just really masochism. And No, but the art style of Darkest Dungeon was always great, so I want to do this. And for like 2 months, I mean, off and on, people should know that I probably
Yeah,
only.
he didn't work on it every day for 2
it's-
months.
I'm still not really a professional artist. I basically draw my 3 to 4 hours each Monday while doing TV time, which means I also spend the majority of my focus on the TV and not the drawing. So yeah, taking 2 months for this, take this with a huge grain of salt that I'd say this. But still, working on it for 2 months, I have finished pictures before in like 2 weeks, I believe. And
Yeah, just him drawing with his crayons and construction paper while I look over
Exactly.
his shoulder, being
Yeah.
like, "Good, maybe work on that."
a very realistic presentation of how my
I
creative
will
process
I
works.
will give you credit with this one. This one I didn't have to give you a lot of notes with though.
Yeah, I mean, I went
This one
with,
you actually did handle yourself.
Yeah. But yeah, so I proud as Oscar. I posted it Monday right after TV time onto the internet. Like, yay! I'm so proud, and I got some likes and retweets, but mostly it was like really a very small handful, and Jesse didn't even notice it. And I will not lie, I checked it frequently throughout the week, and it made me a little bit
Oh.
sad, especially when then, not to shit on you, but when you then just did this random post just mentioning me, and this random post, I got more notifications for that than for the picture
What was the
I spent.
random post? Me saying that I want to do Infinity Train edits because that's a thing.
Either that or something before that was not even creativity related. Maybe just talk. Did you do a post about us watching Mitchells or any just rando post where you were like at ANY in it, and I'm like, my art I spent 2 months of and super proud of is not going in. But so I was like, okay, artists do this. I saw artists justifying it before. I do a weekend bump. And I weekend
then
bumped
Jesse-
it, and Jesse saw it, and now it's at 40 retweets and almost 600 likes. This happened like Saturday
Did
before.
you get your validation?
Not just validation. I saw this has happened from my point of view Saturday morning, and it was like, okay, starting the day, we were about to leave the house for grocery shopping, and I started grinning and was like, shit, I shouldn't be this happy about it. God damn it.
No, it's a good feeling.
I should not build my happiness on Senpai noticing me and getting acknowledgement.
Now you know how every artist feels when someone...
I mean, the sad news is, with that, my career as an artist has peaked. It can only go down from here. Because I will not...
the next thing you're drawing, I don't know.
Oh, ooh. No, but I have the feeling it will be not this wave of sincere, positive feedback and appreciation. So it might, my next pick might have a higher potential for going viral and getting attention, but not in this wholesome people generally being like, whoa, this is awesome shit, dude. So, yeah. For now, this is my personal peak until so this was probably also the last piece of me art for the next 2 months, knowing my production cycle. So enjoy not having to listen to me blabbering on about my own drawings for the foreseeable future. Anyways,
Jesus, could you end this on a happy note? Like, God.
I need to keep the I was too happy and too braggy about it. Now I need to keep myself grounded.
It doesn't count as punching down when you're punching yourself, man. Like, okay, but now it's the question time, the Q&A.
Q&A.
Yes, do we have anything on Twitter?
We have 2 on Twitter. So
what the new record?
One I would say is relevant to our guest, so I definitely want to do that one. Lance Guy asks, if you could choose to be a monster, what monster would you be?
Ooh.
So, monsters, given that your avatar is some kind of male mermaid monster, is this actually your answer, or is there some secret, more exclusive answer that you are willing to premiere on this very show right now?
Secretly, it's a werewolf. Like it
The exact opposite. No scales, no water based, no fur and teeth and.
Well, yeah, like my channel avatar was designed, I want to say like 7 or 8 years ago, and yeah, it was inspired directly by the creature from the Black Lagoon, if you're familiar.
Yeah.
So that's the sort of monster that inspired my channel art. But if I had to pick a monster, oh boy, I like that. I like Bigfoot from We Bare Bears. Does that count? Or the Sasquatch?
Yay! You
that
could be
is pretty-
Jason Lee.
Pretty close to the werewolf. Big, hairy, land-based.
And long legs. Okay, so Monsters wants to be Jason Lee. Not Bigfoot, Jason Lee's Bigfoot. Okay, so Max, I'm guessing you want to be something furry.
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily.
Okay.
I mean, I am a furry, but if I want to be a monster, I'm not going for a complete switcheroo and being like some kind of mermaid. Monster. Maybe I go bigger and go dragon. I mean, fire breath, flying, getting to steal.
Oh, you could be
being a socially accepted capturer or no, kidnapper of virgins. Or princesses. Let's go with princesses. I don't want virgins.
Yeah, I was about to say,
virgins
like, dude,
are,
that's
princesses. Let's go princesses. So, socially accepted kidnapper of princesses. I mean, good, the knights come and try to kill me for it, but this is also socially accepted. Think about it, huh?
And who knows? Who knows? Maybe Shrek will be the one trying to storm your castle, and then you'll meet a lovely ass.
And it's basically like me, like I am in. Oh yeah, one hot ass to come by and save the prince. Yeah, I see what. Yeah, but no, and also it's like just sitting on a pile of money, like not using it, just sitting on it and having it and being like, I have money. This sounds good to me.
That just sounds like you.
Basically, me IRL.
Okay, I know mine.
Oh.
Mine is easy.
Please do tell.
I would be a fucking siren, man. Like I like the idea that I could sing and get people to do what I want. That is, at the end of the day, I'm sticking on brand that everything I pick has to be fucking mind control in some kind of way.
So basically, being a Twitch streamer with a simp army. Men that do what you want. This is a Twitch streamer, a female one.
Yeah, I mean, hey, men or women, I'm not gonna judge who falls under my spell. And if I just want, if you know what's the best part about it, I could sing Hamilton as much as I want, and no one can tell me to shut up. Like, the people will just hear, how does a bastard orphan? And they'll be like, oh no, I love him, I love it. So it just works. It just works. Thank you for the question. Okay, here's a question from SOS Columbia saying, holy shit, a dove. Yeah, it is Odie. Holy shit, a dove. What's the biggest animal that managed to get inside of your house? I'm guessing this is implying not
pets
willingly,
yeah.
Like because I would say dogs, because I've had quite a few big boys in my house that were dogs.
So yeah, let's talk about animals that you were not since what was the question? Biggest animal that managed to get inside your house. So we are talking about an animal breaking in. If it's the neighbor's dog, I would and it's a Great Dane, I would say this would still count. But if it's your own Great Dane, it doesn't count. And of course, the neighbor is not allowed to come over visiting with his Great Dane. It needs to be an animal breaking into your place. What's the biggest one?
Why are you specifically picking a Great Dane?
Because it's a giant-ass dog. I could have also done an Iric Wolfhound. But yeah, I know that if Scooby-Doo would break into your house, you would not count him as an animal.
He's a good boy.
And he could not break in since he would always be welcome.
Yes, indeed. God, I had a squirrel in our house once.
Wow.
My dog chased it into the house. You can imagine how fun that was, of just this scared little squirrel just jumping on the kitchen table and then the counter and then the fridge, just be like, get me away from this hellhound. Meanwhile, the dog that chased him in was my 2-month pregnant beagle basset hound mix with a dumpy face, just be like, hi, it's me, Josie. Like, I don't even think I would call that chasing. I think it just walked close to it, and the fucking squirrel had PTSD from a previous dog. Because Josie couldn't hurt a fly. She was too dumb to. She had Monchi brain. Like, come on now. But yes, so I guess mine would be squirrel.
Trying to remember what actually was. I mean, I could. Maybe I can cheat and go for my sister's house. Where.
What, with the asshole dogs?
No, they were living in the house. They were allowed to enter the building. No, but the chickens that are supposed to live in the garden. Like, just coming in through the garden door, like. Okay, I'm now in the house. Where's food?
I like that mental image on it. I like that.
I have a video of it even, but it's somewhere buried in WhatsApp history. So yeah, I have a video of this chicken just coming in, and my sister like filming it, like being like, "The hell."
I like Odie. For a second, I thought your answer was going to be my sister. No.
Ooh. That wild animal that got into my house. What?
But okay. Monsters, if you have one, but I do have a kind of a one that's bigger than a squirrel, but I don't know if it counts.
The only one I can think of is like a mouse. I don't think anything bigger than a mouse, thankfully, has ever surpassed the barricades and found a way into my house.
You have a good moat outside of your house to keep those creatures at bay.
It's fortified with huge walls and a moat filled with gators.
Little do we know that Monsters is actually Lord Farquaad with a giant tilt.
No, this is just Florida.
Oh, okay. Gators just come with every property in Florida. Oh, man. Is there such thing as gator insurance?
There should be.
Okay, I wanted to know if that was a real thing.
That'd be funny if, like, under house insurance or, like, life insurance, there's, like, a little asterisk. It's like, policy does not apply to alligators.
But it's like, what happens if you like left your kid out on your lawn that has the car with no tires on it and just a few cinder blocks, and that kid just gets munched on by an alligator? Is that covered by health insurance? Like, is alligator bites covered by Medicaid? Like, these are the
What if a
answers we're
gator
looking for.
what if a gator ate a part of your phone, and then you took the scraps and you brought it to the Apple store, and you're like, "Hi, I have a warranty. A gator ate a part of my iPhone." And they're like, "Sorry, we don't cover gators on our warranty.
We only cover crocodiles. I'm sorry."
Right. Yeah.
But okay. While you get the next question from Twitter, I did remember one time a family member was at my house. They were drinking, and I came home from school, and there was a giant stray dog on my bed. And they were like, "Hey, this is the dog we're going to adopt now." It's like,
okay.
My bed was covered in fleas.
Ooh.
Like, that was fun. Yeah, that was a fun experience for the next, like, 4 months of getting bitten all over because someone put a fucking stray dog on my bed, and the worst part is the dog was cute.
Oh.
Yes,
So I can't get. I mean, I'm not gonna get mad at the dog. I could get mad at people, but I mean, I don't know a person who can truly get mad at a dog, unless it's Max with his sister's dogs, because apparently those dogs are his mortal enemies.
Well, one of them isn't anymore.
As in dead, or
Money after certain long years, which is for a big dog of his size, a long time. And yeah, he's even older than both my nieces. But yeah.
finally crossed the Rainbow Bridge?
Yeah. What was it? I believe
Aw.
last weekend.
Aw.
I'm
But
sorry.
yeah, it's still mortal enemies anyways. I won. Haha.
Oh God, no.
But yeah.
So what's the next Twitter question?
J-Rock asks, would you rather, and I have a feeling that this one will kind of be a reverse would you rather. Would you rather walk through a graveyard at midnight or spend the night at a spooky, abandoned old building? To me personally, this sounds more like, which one would I rather? Like, neither of them sounds as...
What was the first one?
Walk through a graveyard at midnight or spend a night at a spooky, abandoned old house. Those both sound awesome. I have to pick one?
What Scooby-Doo plot are we picking today, kids? Like
Zoinks!
But
like
yeah.
zoinks.
So, neither,
Okay,
no
monsters,
matter if...
what?
Yeah, but no matter if positive or for positive or negative reasons, which one would you rather do? Monsters.
Which one would I rather do?
Yeah.
Would you rather walk
Yes.
through the graveyard with
At
the
midnight.
skeletons, or the or
Abandoned
in
building.
the spooky scary house?
Well, I can confidently say that I have done one of these activities before. I have back in high school. I during a summer night I did go with some friends and just simply stroll through a graveyard in the late hours of the night. I have not been to an abandoned building before, or a scary building, spooky abandoned old house. I have not been to one, but I guess for the purpose of not trespassing, I would say walk through a graveyard because I don't want to like trigger some sort of like alarm system and then have the cops show up and arrest me for trespassing in an old house. That is my totally exciting answer.
Very down to earth. Key, what about you?
See, there's a real argument to be made here. On one hand, the spooky abandoned house could you have a roof over your head. You don't know if it's raining or there's some spooky fog, which
You can
it will
pick
always
the
happen
date.
at these
You
locations.
can pick your date.
Yeah, or maybe there's some food in the fridge of the spooky abandoned house, because there's always some. But when you make it into a sandwich and you take a bite, it just goes into a cloud of dust.
I
Anyways,
just wanted to say, this actually sounds like an argument against it because that
maybe you
sounds
can get
moldy
some.
smelling.
You can get some free food, because inevitably when the spooky ghosts chase you, you hear some kind of Donny Osmond music playing in the background as you're running through doors. On the other hand, the argument for the graveyard is, free flowers. You could they're just waiting for you. They were so courteous to just put them in front of these lovely presenting rocks, and you could just take them to your lady or gentleman of the night. And you get free entertainment when the skeletons come out to do their little dance.
Right.
Or if you're at a Hollywood one, Michael Jackson can come out and start doing the Thriller dance for you. It's such a great time. I guess for the sake of contrarianism, I will go with the haunted house, or the not even haunted, spooky house, because you know what? Maybe there's a cool ghost that died there, and I could have cool ghost times, and maybe it will be like that ghost that's in that one scene in Ghostbusters with Dan Aykroyd, and it could be a fun time for all. The end. But what about you, Max?
For me, I would also very clearly go for the house, simply because graveyard at night, it's just a graveyard. It's like pathways, a few stones with some nice masonry going on, some stealable flowers. But at the end of the day, what is a graveyard? It's like open fields, a few trees, pathways you follow. It's like, it's nice.
And monsters will be there, though. You can hang out with your best friend.
Not only will I be
monsters.
there, but I feel like with a house, it's weird because like it is kind of spooky. You're like, why is nobody here? Whereas in a graveyard, I find like in kind of an endearing way, I find that it might be interesting to just kind of like look around and just glance at the tombstones and kind of wonder like what these people may have been like, or talk to their ghosts.
Yeah.
But you see, is my point of argument comes from like as in a sincere answer where I am 100% not superstitious, so I will not expect to find ghosts or anything spooky in either place. However, a graveyard, once again, it's just a graveyard, but it's dark. It's I don't find graveyards spooky during daytime, but I like hanging out in the darkness. I like to do go running in the woods at night with friends back in the day, like on pathways. So otherwise, routes to fall over, not cool. However, a spooky, an abandoned building, and I actually camped in a building entire. What is it called? Military kaserne. What is a kaserne in English? Where the soldiers live.
Oh, like barracks?
A barrack?
Barracks, but an entire area, like not one building.
Like a base?
A base,
a fort?
yes.
Yeah,
And,
base.
Yeah, I was camping in an entire abandoned military base many years ago. So we explored the individual buildings, and actually this decay is like super fascinating in old buildings where like this post-apocalyptic feeling. This is something a graveyard can't give you. And it's like, yeah, technically we were trespassing, that's true. But besides that, I mean, most graveyards are closed at night as well. So I would be trespassing either way. But so if we take this out, I would say staying in an abandoned building has a lot is a lot more fascinating experience, because it's not just something mundane that's dark. It's actually something that you don't get to see every day, and where there is I guess atmosphere works in both cases, but I personally would say the atmosphere in an abandoned building is like actually more versus a graveyard is like, oh, it's a park. I know that there are dead people in the ground, but overall it's a park.
And you get to do phasmophobia in real life.
Once again, if there are actual ghosts, but the feel, yeah.
You don't know. You don't know.
I do not claim. I'm agnostic. I do not claim to have knowledge, but I'm 99% sure.
But that 1% could be a woo.
Ooh.
Sure, I mean, I would love it if it happened, but anyways, I answered.
And this
Next
is
question.
why we need to. And this is why we need to stay on the haunted boat hotel.
Yeah, I mean, I said it looks cool.
The St. Mary, that one?
Yeah, I was looking at hotels in Long Beach for when he visits next time, and I was like, I never heard of the St. Mary, and I was just like, what is this? And it's just a haunted. It's a fucking World War I.
Or I think it's the
liner
Queen Mary.
boat. The Queen Mary, yeah, there you go. And apparently a big thing about it is that it's apparently haunted. And I sent pictures of it to Max, being like, I did not know that there was a hotel that was just a boat. And he was like, this looks kind of cool. I wouldn't mind staying here. I'm like,
I remember so kind of like a flashback. So Cartoon Network back like 10 years ago had a block called CN Real, where they just decided out of the blue to make like live action shows. And they had one called The Other Siders, where it was like these kids doing sort of like ghost hunters, paranormal activity type. And I think like the finale of their first season was them going to the Queen Mary and trying to capture ghosts on their video cameras.
Oh, I see a little orb there. That means there was a ghost. Ooh.
They hear one sound. Oh my god! I think BuzzFeed Unsolved also did an episode.
Yeah, but okay. I see two questions I want to do, and then I think that'll be the end of the show, because we're actually running kind of close to time. So, Butt Munch Beatdown. Thank you, Wolfhead. That is a great name. Says, I'm about to have a blueprint to everyone's personality in one question. Would you rather have 5 baby kittens or 1 baby alligator?
Speaking of gators.
For all we know, Monsters owns one. For all we know, Monsters is one. It's just an Arlo situation.
Right.
I mean, that's why you didn't go on face cam, right? Because you're a little alligator boy.
I am the son of an alligator and Nicolas Cage.
That makes total sense.
Yes.
So
the question was five kittens or one alligator?
Yeah,
Which
5
would
baby
we rather
kittens
have?
or 1 baby alligator. Yes.
I mean, it depends on how chaotic you are, right?
But you,
Yeah, I
we
mean,
are asking you.
what adventure? Yeah, what adventure would you want to take?
I mean, I think I would need someone else to like supervise them, but I would say the gator just because I've had cats in my life, and I feel like that could provide for some interesting bar stories.
Oh, that's a good
Well,
point.
you know what? You know what? I respect that. What about you, Max? What's your
I don't know. 5 kittens is a lot. That's quite a handful.
And also, you're allergic, so that's going to be a very sneezy life.
Let's be optimistic and say like exposing myself to them will sensitize me, and therefore I will lose my allergy for them. Optimism. Okay.
But a baby alligator.
Quite a handful. Yeah, that's the other thing. The bar stories are a good argument, but besides that, there's a thing why you talk about lizard brain and shit. Alligators are simply they do not grow attached like other mammals. They will just be like hungry. Hey, you human who was there for me my entire life. Yeah, they literally, as far as I know, please correct me if I'm spreading misinformation here, but literally those kind of reptiles do lack the capability of being able to connect to other beings in this kind of like herd thing or prey. What are hunters again? Are they a prey?
Predator.
Predator. Yeah, but a group of them. What is a group of them called?
Like a
pride? Like Rudel. In German we have Rudel for them. Herde, herds are prey animals, and the predators are packs maybe. Yeah, part of the pack.
Yeah.
And yeah, thanks. But yeah, so here's the thing, because I'm a furry, I want to be able to connect to my fur babies, and I have the feeling I couldn't do it with an alligator. And if this is true, then I probably would go for the kitten simply for like, yeah, and I mean, obviously chaos, so, I mean, I want to get ferrets and multiple ones, so...
Now that I think about it too, like, if you know, cats, they're pretty easy to take care of, right? Like, you fill up their food and water, but and you have to clean the litter once every while, but, well, you know, they're pretty self-sustaining.
Every day, I guess.
That can be a lot of poo. But but yeah, like, you know, they're not, especially, like, compared to a dog, they tend to be easy to take care of. But, like, a gator, I feel like it would get old really quick. Like, for a couple days, you're like, oh, yeah, I've got a gator as a pet. But then you realize you're spending, like, $100 a day on, like, buying raw meat to feed it every day, and it's just like, and then it eats your other animals.
I just want to say, and then you find the skull of the neighbor's missing dog a week later in the alligator's poop, and you are like, damn it. I wish I would have gone for the cats and the 5-liter boxes. Keyframe, what about you?
I think I'm gonna go with the cats, man. Like, I want to be the cool one, being like, look at my
pet
dinosaur pet, because that's essentially what an alligator is. But I can't with good where the hell would I put it? It won't fit in the bathtub once it grows up. I don't want to be one of those New Yorkers that puts the alligator in the sewer. I'm not one of those people.
And then it turns into a crime-fighting, pizza-eating vigilante.
Exactly. It turns into like
whoa, cowabunga! I'm an alligator.
But instead of pizza, likes gyros or something. Uh, but no, like, you know, I've actually raised a whole litter of cats. We had a litter of kittens born in our house when I was growing up, and I do love a cute little kitten. I raised my little pet my baby black cat Max from a kitten when I saved him from a terrible home and washed off the fleas off of him. The water was pink and he was a good boy, and you know, I do have a soft spot for cats. I'm much more of a dog person, mostly because dogs don't make me sneeze. Because I have a mild allergy to cats, but I could deal with it. Plus, if I could properly raise these cats, I could have a little cat army, and I would be like, "Go, my pretties," and just, you know, you can train cats with enough effort, have them with their little claws, because you don't declaw cats, and if someone ever angers me, I'll just be like, "Pocket cat," throw a cat out of my pocket, and they'll claw its face off, and then I'll be like, "Come, Pedro," and then the cat will come back.
Real life cat, I choose you. It uses
Exactly.
claws. It's very effective.
It'll be like Reaper in Overwatch, where he just has a different set of shotguns each time, so I would just have a different...
Cats.
And if I go to the and the best part is I just need to put them in a little pet carrier and I could get them through the TSA, and then I could just be like, "International cats, mais oui!" Dunk! But okay, so I have one more question, and this requires a picture.
I guess I know which
Odie.
one. Yes.
I feel like this is a good final question. I respect your family-friendly say version of FMK Denim, but this one is the better question.
Well then, if you want to read... Oh wait, the question is literally on the picture as well.
It's on the text.
So
for our final question, and we'll make this one quick because I know you have to go soon, Monsters.
No, it's not readable. No, it's readable.
What 3 items would you put in a chalk circle if you want to summon yourself? So, Monsters, what do you think are the 3 items that would be best to summon you in a satanic ritual?
Okay. Yeah, I think I know what a chalk circle is.
Yes.
So summon my spirit. 3. So would it be 3 items that are like symbolic of me?
Probably.
Yes.
I mean, there's a little bit of leeway with the question.
It could be 3 items that are symbolic of you, or 3 items you know that will get you to come somewhere.
Oh, okay.
It could also be like bait. Like, what do you need to put into a circle to bait him over?
What do you need to put under the cardboard box to capture the guy?
Okay. So the first item would be it would be the film Borat on a DVD.
Yeah.
Specifically a DVD, not a VHS, not a Blu-ray, on DVD. It's the most universal format. Yes.
Okay.
So that would be number 1. Number two would probably be a quesarito from Taco Bell. Taco Bell is amazing. I could go for a quesarito. And then the third item.
We already got 2 baller items right now. What could really cinch it?
What is the thing that makes it you, specifically to all the other Taco Bell Borat fans out there?
Lovers, which has a really big overlap, let me just say.
Well, I mean, thinking of this as being an experience, so after they summon me, I can just go crash somewhere and watch Borat on DVD while eating Taco Bell.
Yes, exactly.
Maybe I can throw in like a board game or something afterwards. So like,
which one? Careful. This is a determining one. If you say the wrong board game, dude, you are out. Just saying.
Max is a stickler for board games. I'm sorry.
I don't even play board games that much.
Oh wow,
that's a lot.
He's got a collection.
I thought of one. Okay.
Yeah.
So given the fact that that we presumably have a DVD player on hand, it would be the Nickelodeon version of Seen It. Are you familiar with Seen It, Max?
No.
Okay, so there used to be these board games called Seen It, where you would put in a DVD and you had like a mat down, and it would play different scenes from like the theme of the board game. They had like a Nickelodeon one and a Disney one.
Lying. My sister had Harry Potter seen it, and we played it the Christmas we got it. So I actually do know seen it. Thank you. Yes. Okay, and Nickelodeon seen it.
Yes, I would have Nickelodeon seen it, a quesarito from Taco Bell, and the film Borat on DVD.
That is a great summoning circle.
It is.
God, this was a good question. Jesus.
This will be hard to top for us.
Okay, so for me, okay, I would have, okay, I got it. I would have a still sealed copy of the original LP to Yellow Submarine. So like the record, but still sealed, so it still has all of its value. I do own an LP copy of Yellow Submarine, but it's in the living room and I don't feel like getting it. So I would have that, then something Scooby-Doo related. I mean, I don't know where you could possibly get one. Yeah, like I don't know how you can find something, but I'm sure you can scrounge one up. And the third thing, see, now I want the third thing to be food, because I feel like that's a good pattern that good old Monsters brought here.
Only one food item for me. Okay.
What will spark your appetite?
A bottle of Berry Bulmers.
Okay, so I guess I will not go for it.
It's a Bulmer cider. Haha! Partly because another way to summon me is fucking Max over. So that is what works. So yeah, Scooby-Doo, Beatles, and Bulmers. That sounds like a Tinder profile. I love it.
Oh well.
But what about you, Max? You are our final summoning circle.
Yes, I am. So, out of curiosity, I needed to look this one back up again because, believe it or not, there actually was a summoning circle created in my honor before. Actually two, but this is the only one I know where to find the picture. I knew you did the idea first and I stole it from you, Keyframe. But there actually was a summoning circle for me. What is it? It's apple whiskey, which just represents alcohol because this is not necessarily my favorite one. Sunglasses and money because I'm a whore. So that was the summoning circle that actually existed for me. And dabbing. Dabbing was the last ingredient. And what do you know? It actually worked.
Yeah, the summoning circle that I did was at I think Magfest, and me and Chris and Christian all had it in like a giant circle, and I forgot what we were chanting at the same time. We were either chanting like your name or something. But then I also just started doing a thing at conventions where I just had your autograph cards. I would put them in a circle around the TV.
Stuff like that.
Did it work?
Yeah.
Not to summon me, but to annoy me. That's for sure.
Yeah, because I would just tag them on Twitter, and you know.
I mean, that's summoning. Adding somebody on Twitter.
It is summoning.
Isn't it? And of course,
it did.
Here's the thing. I did this entire thing with the summoning circle at this con because it was like, this is probably one of my last big cons in this fandom, and those are the last few cards, so I just generously threw them out like, let's build a summoning circle. I don't want to take any of those home.
You still have a giant...
I found an entire additional package with a few hundred more of them right here.
Wow.
I will never get rid of them.
Yeah, but no, we gotta speed this up, Max. What's in your summoning circle?
So, food item, sushi, easy. Since Bulma, Redberry's Bulma was already taken, so you put sushi in there.
Okay.
You put. I guess.
This is defining your personality.
Yeah. Careful, or I slow down I slow down even more.
Okay, fine.
So,
holding me hostage.
Then to probably avoid having to have an entire computer available, I will jump over my shadow and allow it to be a console. So let's say a Switch with Stardew Valley on it, because I can sink a lot of hours into that one. And the final item that sets me apart from all the other Stardew Valley Bulmers loving dweeps out there. The one that makes me cool, unlike them. Stardew Valley and sushi. Is there more to life?
A ferret?
Maybe some like properly fitting curtains.
Oh no! In all fairness, this was a good shot, but no, that's probably not as much my big issue. No, but ferret. I guess a ferret would do. Yeah. So put a living.
The hardest part about it would be getting the ferret to sit still for one moment. Actually, to summoning.
Chant faster! It runs out of the circle again.
Then it summons you. All the effort to summon.
But the question is, with the summoning items, I mean, in your cases, it was very clearly they are there to summon you and then you enjoy the items. But is this the same case for me, or would the ferret turn into me? Would basically would you sacrifice the ferret? Also, would I have clothes when the ferret and then it becomes? Would I be naked?
Oh, that's awkward.
A and Y and Key say hi to the people in the chat. The memes are seen on this live stream as they talk about random grabs. Time for awkward guests. It's the awkward. Random guests and funny gags on the awkward guests. It's the awkward. Hard work and analysis, which you do not want to miss on awkward.